Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Rock My Bean greatest albums of the 70s and 80s review and reaction. My name is John, and I am going through the album "Rumours" by Fleetwood Mac, which came out in 1977. It was one of the biggest albums of the decade, and perhaps the largest best-selling album of the band Fleetwood Mac. Now, we have gone through pretty much most of the songs of the first side of the record. If you know what records are, they're those large vinyl things they used to put on record players. You put a needle on it, it would play through one side, you'd flip it over and play the other side. Well, we are about the middle of the album now. We've already heard about five songs, and now we're going to go. We've had a couple real bangers there, and "Don't Stop," and that was the last one we heard, which was a full out, just great song. As I said, five of the songs on this album four of them made top 10. Five were huge radio hits, and we've already covered two of those, and now we're going to cover the other three. And one of them is going to be the second one we're going to listen to. Now, this next one we're going to listen to, after these two bangers that were before this, we're going to drop the volume down, drop the tempo down, and we're going to go back to Stevie Nicks doing her solo singing. And this is a real slow, mellow song, and it's called "Silver Springs." And this gives you an idea of Stevie Nicks' voice. And once again, just like "Dreams," but it doesn't have the beat. It's just acoustic guitar and her singing. So we're going to listen to "Silver Springs" next. Shall we get into it? And once again, Stevie Nicks was the forefront singer of the band at the time, but her voice worked so well with Lindsey Buckingham and Christy McVie. But in this case, Stevie is doing a solo work. Now, Christy McVie gets a couple solo, at least one or two, I believe, solo songs on this as well. And Lindsey has had I think he had one. It was Secondhand News and Never Going Back Again. So he's had a couple as well. So they each got, I think, two songs on the album. A solo singing. This is Stevie's second solo song. So here we go with "Silver Springs," and we're going to start it now.
You could be
Okay, there we have it. We had Silver Spring, and it was a little more out front than I thought it was going to be. I've heard the song quite a long time ago, and I knew that it was a very mellow song, and it starts out that way, and then it picks up, and then it goes back, and then it has this really, I think, a really great chorus hook. It's a really interesting dun 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 dun, and all their voices are coming in, and you've got that really interesting instrumentation with the guitar playing sort of I don't know if it was done in the studio. It sounds like a studio effect where it's a reverse. It goes wah 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 wah. I think that's a studio technique. I know I have a set of electric drums where one of the sounds is a reverse snare, reverse cymbals, and it's like shoop, shoop, shoop. So I think that's what we're hearing with the guitar. And then there is either keyboard or a acoustic guitar in the background carrying some of the melody as well. And of course, Mick Fleetwood's drumming is just, working the song as usual. But of course, obviously the star of this song is Stevie Nicks and her singing. So this was the next song on the album, and I said they took it down a bunch of notches from "Don't Stop," and but it still had a nice little tempo to it. It wasn't just a acoustic song like one Lindsay did earlier. But the next one here is, I think, one of their biggest songs of all, and this is the song called "The Chain," and "The Chain" is a favorite of all their fans. And once again, this made the top 10 the year it came out. So they had 4 top 10 hits in one album in 1 year, and this was the third one. So now we're going to listen to "The Chain" by Fleetwood Mac. Pause it right here. What we're hearing here is that hollow body guitar that Lindsey Buckingham plays and he picks on. It's got a unique sound, but it works so well with this song here. A little keyboard coming in. You got that solid bass drum. And this song is just really well done. It's got a minimalist style, but everything just works so well. And there's actually 2 parts to this song. There's this part, and then there's this other part where they crank it up quite a bit, and you get that famous bass line. Everybody seems to know, if they've heard this, they know the bass line. And that comes in for the second half. So let's continue listening. Okay, I'm going to pause it right here because what you're getting here is this almost swampy sounding guitar. Dong, 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 dong. It sounds like you're on the bayou or something. It has a very mysterious southern sound to it, And then you've got that bass, that drum, boom, boom, boom. Then you've got some other guitar playing and the melody in the background, but mainly you've got this synthesizer keyboard doing something in the background, playing this melody that sort of it complements, but also smooths out the roughness of that. It's a and that's very well done. Really great instrumentation here. And of course, Lindsay and Stevie are singing the vocals here, and their voices work so well together. They're very similar. One is more masculine, one's more feminine, but you get that difference. But they work very well together as they sing back and forth, sing off of one another for the chorus on this. So we're going to continue with the chain.
Listen to the wind blow.
Okay, stopping it again. You get the feeling that this is a very dark song. Now, up till now, we've had some really negative lyrics about breaking up and relationship problems and all this stuff. But the songs have been rather optimistic music-wise and upbeat. This one is not. This is the first one I can say it feels dark. It feels brooding. It feels like everything's going bad, everything's falling apart, just darkness, we're in a dark place here. And it sounds that way. So they took it another direction now. They went a direction of, instead of another upbeat musical melody supporting, kind of negative lyrics, we're getting negative lyrics with a negative sound. And they did it for the first time in this album. And it works really well. You get the feeling that there's this foreboding. There's this fear of what's happening, what's coming. It's all falling apart, and I don't know what to do. Everything's in a dark place. You really get the feeling here. And, sort of you said this and you said that, and it's all coming apart. So you really get the feeling. Even if you didn't have the lyrics, you would feel that darkness, that sort of forlorn and foreboding that's going on here. Let's continue, because the song actually does change very soon.
Break the silence, damn the dark, damn the light.
That's good. That's just really good.
And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you would never break the chain. And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you would never break the chain. And if you don't love me now, you will never love me again. I can still hear you saying you would never break the chain.
Okay, pausing one more time. If you listen to the vocals, Lindsay's vocals and Stevie's vocals, you hear the emotion in the singing. It's there. It's raw. You can hear the sort of, desperation here. If you don't love me now, you may never love me again. You can feel that emotion in their singing. It's an incredibly good job of bringing that into the song. You've got this emotional, foreboding music, and you got this almost breathless desperation in their singing. And now you're going to hear it changes, but it keeps that foreboding feeling and that desperation. It continues. So here we go. And here's the famous bass line. Wow, that was terrific. That was absolutely terrific, and we're going to stop right there. That was absolutely amazing. So we had this situation where they were just this foreboding, dark feeling, and then all of a sudden you get this boom, 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 boom. I mean, that's about as ominous in a series of notes as you can put in a song. And the bass guitar does a great job of like creating the foundation for this boom. It carries on what's going on in the first half of the song to the next part of the song, which just picks up the tempo and this drives that desperation full blast to the end of the song, where they're both singing together, and it just dum 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 dum, and there's no resolution to the problem that the song introduces. It just goes from bad to worse, in essence. And so this song did what many songs would do if they had lyrics like this. They are an ominous, dark music. And up till now, Fleetwood Mac has not done that. In this album, they had bright, upbeat music carrying rather dark lyrics. And now they've got dark lyrics and dark music. And it just has such a texture and such a spirit of foreboding it's done so well. And in a very minimalist style. There's not a ton of instruments and a ton of layering going on here. Very simple instrumentation with the back and forth singing, and where the voices are very similar, and then they join together at the end in an act of just desperation. That's the feeling I get from it. With that bass carrying that foreboding boom, 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 right to the fade out. Just a tremendous song, and I can see why this one was one of their biggest hits and remains so. So here we go. Now we're halfway through this album, and there's still some really great songs left on it. And like I said, this album just went from good to better to best, and it just doesn't let go. And it deserves the rating that it has. Well, that's all I have for this review. I hope you've liked it. If you do like it, please hit the like button and subscribe and hit the notification bell. We're going to finish this album up soon, and we'll be going to some more albums. We're looking at a couple of them that were huge hits in the 1970s, and that absolutely have to be covered. Perhaps more rock in this case. Well, Fleetwood Mac is a rock pop band. You know, when I was in high school in the 70s, I liked rock. I wasn't into pop music at all. I was when I was a kid. And I didn't listen to a lot of Fleetwood Mac, but what I did hear on the radio, I liked. But I never really got into them until I was a little older, probably in my 20s. And I began to appreciate what they were doing, what they had done. And now I can look back on this album and say, man, this was a treasure. This was a amazing a band, an amazing album, and it absolutely deserves all the kudos that it gets. And they deserve the congratulations for putting together this kind of music. It is not easy to write songs like this, especially to write so many good songs in one record is just very unusual. We're going to cover some other albums where they did that, but believe me, folks, it was not easy, and it was never easy. And the fact that it was done is amazing. Okay, we have a lot of talent in this band, and this shows it. The songwriting is great. The instrumentation is great. The production is great. It's all here. Well, that's all I have. And so thank you for joining me on this review, Rock My Bean review. Like I said, we're going to keep covering this album. We've got a number of songs. I think we got, we've got, oh my gosh, we've got 5 more songs. So we have the whole other half of the record. Got to flip that record over, put that needle back on, because we have 5 more songs. And I believe 3 more are big songs. We're going to have, of the ones that are coming next are You Make Loving Fun, which is a Christy McVie song, I Don't Want to Know, Oh Daddy, Gold Dust Woman, which is another big hit of theirs, and Songbird. So there's still a lot of music left here, and I hope you're staying with me on this. I'm really enjoying this. And you know what? We're going to look back at the whole album. We'll get to the end and look at it as a single, almost like a single song, carrying you from the beginning to the end. And you'll have this experience that you don't get just listening to a single song and then taking off. I'm already getting a feeling about this album. You can clearly feel the emotional angst and the feelings that people were having. And I said the singing in that last song, the way they were singing together was a breathless, almost, I'm trying to think of the word. They were just frustrated and desperate and lost as to why things are happening the way they are. You once said this. I remember when you said these things. And what's happened? Where did that go? And you can feel that in their singing. You can hear it in the way they're singing their part. And that's just incredible. All right, folks. Thank you very much. Once again, we're going to bring Mark in here, the other half of the show, for maybe some of the other albums that we do, and see how he reacts to these, because Mark comes from a different generation, and a lot of these songs he's never heard before, the albums he's never heard before. So we're going to kind of get his take on some of this as well. Well, thank you very much. Again, like and subscribe, hit the notification button, and please share this video with others, because the algorithm really likes sharing. And subscribe. Please subscribe if you viewed this. Please hit the subscription button, because that helps as well if you like this channel. And you know what? If you have any suggestions at all, please leave them behind for us, because I will definitely take them into account. Well, thank you very much, and we'll see you again next time.